Hello, I'm Rayon Starr, an award-winning strategic business coach. Welcome to my webinar, Permission to Thrive, Transforming Busy Women into Successful and Happy Entrepreneurs Who Do Less and Achieve More. Let's make sure you're in the right place. Who this is for is if you feel spread thin and feel like your life's a never-ending to-do list, or you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. Everyone comes first. There's never enough time for you. There's not enough hours in the day to get it all done. And you feel like you're always behind and never doing enough. Or perhaps you feel guilty, not good enough. You feel like you need more confidence. You feel frustrated that you aren't more successful or for how hard you work. And you're letting fear stop you from going for it. Frustration slows you down. You're terrified of failing. You feel trapped and hopeless. Or perhaps you aren't making the money you need to in your business. You don't have consistent ways to generate leads. You haven't established habits and routines centered around revenue generating activities that you do daily and weekly. You aren't attracting your soulmate clients to you daily, weekly, or monthly. You don't have processes and systems to make things flow easier and better. And you feel frustrated that you aren't getting the results or making the money you deserve for all the effort you put in. Bottom line here, ladies, is work and life are out of balance. Life feels like a lot of work right now. It's not a lot of fun. You want off the treadmill of constantly doing, and wearing yourself down. You want actually a chance to enjoy life and break free from the rat race. And you want to be more successful as an entrepreneur, but more importantly, more fulfilled and happier as a woman. In the next 60 minutes, I've got such good news for you. I'm going to show you 5 key strategies you need to implement in your life and business in order to achieve more and do less. We're going to reduce overwhelm and stress, while taking care of yourself should be a top priority, and get you out of survival mode and into your thrive zone. We're also going to learn how to set better boundaries, say no without guilt or explanation, renegotiate commitments, and discover what your core values and priorities are, which should really be leading the way in determining what gets on your to-do list. Also, I will show you a proven process to make 6 to 7 figures in your business in the next year without killing yourself. Learn how to leverage technology and other people's time and talent in your business so you can do less and achieve more, and develop habits and routines centered around revenue generating activities, as well as how to create processes and systems that enable you to grow your business faster and have more fun doing it. So here are my big promises for you in this next 60 minutes is to give you hope that there's more to life than a never-ending to-do list, and reduce overwhelm and stress, show you how to do less and achieve more, as well as give you permission to thrive by reversing the paradigm and putting yourself first so you and everyone else are happier, healthier, and more successful, and show you a proven process for how to earn 6 to 7 figures by developing habits and routines centered on revenue-generating activities. So let's dive in. Does this feel like you on a personal level? You feel obligated to help people. You put everyone first. Your needs always come after everybody else's. You might feel burnt out and worn down. You feel frustrated at how busy you are and that you never seem to make any progress. And you feel like you never do enough, achieve enough, and you're not good enough. Or perhaps you can relate to this. You wonder if there's more to life. You aren't happy if you're honest with yourself. You suffer from health concerns that you're just being complacent about. You're just kind of ignoring them. You're tolerating the aches and pains, the exhaustion. You don't want to bother anyone or be a burden. You're afraid of disappointing people. You dream of escaping to an easier, more relaxed lifestyle where you enjoy life more. And you feel trapped in a vicious cycle every single day when you wake up. Yikes. In your business, do you wake up in the middle of the night worried about your business because you don't have a strong marketing and sales system to generate leads consistently? Or do you feel like you're on the brink of success, but silently you doubt yourself and wonder if you should just go get a job? Or perhaps you're struggling to attract qualified leads who are actually your soulmate clients, those people you really want to work with. You're on a roller coaster ride. You can't seem to generate a consistent revenue from month to month. You're working long hours, but you're not making the income you deserve or desire for all your work. You're not getting paid what you're worth. And perhaps, like a lot of women entrepreneurs do, you're giving away too much. The real problem here, ladies, is you suffer from the Wonder Woman complex. You're working too hard and doing too much for everyone else. You're trying to be the perfect woman, wife, mother, sister, daughter, friend, worker, boss, and not getting the results you want or the rewards you desire or deserve. You don't have the 5 strategies I'm about to share with you for doing less and achieving more to live a happier and more successful life. Once you follow these 5 strategies, you're going to wake up every morning, look forward to the day because you're in control and you've scheduled time for yourself. You won't dread the day and feel stressed out and overwhelmed anymore. You're going to have tools to reduce all that and be more effective and successful. You'll feel more confident and willing to stretch yourself and face your fears and take action anyway. And that boosts your confidence big time. Also, you'll have more time off to enjoy life without sacrificing success. In fact, you'll feel more successful and you'll be more successful and it'll be easier. You'll only surround yourself with supportive, happy, positive people. You won't have tolerance for the negative Nellies, the saboteurs, the jealous people, the negative people that hold you back. That just won't fit for you anymore. You'll be able to grow into the leader you want to be, learning to delegate and automate to elevate your business success and life enjoyment. You'll also stop giving away your precious time and start charging what you're worth. You're going to be able to charge premium pricing for doing work that you love. You're only going to work with your soulmate clients. Those are the only clients you should be working with. Think about that. If there is a perfect dream client, and you filled your business with those clients, why would you work with anybody else? It is like a magical connection when you really start working only with your soulmate clients and you don't tolerate working with anybody else, because those people they won't appreciate and value the work you're providing your soulmate clients to. You get them, they get you. It's awesome. You don't have to sell because they come ready to buy from you. They want what you need. They love who you are, and they're just ready. You start working smarter, not harder, and feel more creative in your business. Okay, last but not least, you're going to have all the pieces of the puzzle to take care of yourself first and then grow a successful 6 to 7 figure business by implementing a proven system that gets better results. You'll succeed in your business with effortless ease and thrive and enjoy your life and business more and feel more happiness and freedom. Doesn't all that sound awesome? Okay, so I'm going to share all these strategies with you right now, but I feel like in all fairness, you should know who I am. I'm not going to drone on like a lot of webinars do, and I'm going to deliver a lot of value here. But first, who am I? I'm Rayanna Starr. I'm an award-winning business coach. I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming and hypnotherapy and a process called timeline therapy that's really related to neurolinguistic programming. I have a degree in psychology. I was actually going to become a psychologist at one point, and then even a minister, and then I found coaching, and that was what it was for me. 22 years ago, I became a business coach, and I've never looked back. I've helped thousands, literally thousands of entrepreneurs over that 22 years, how to start up, grow, and scale their business to 6 and 7 figures. And I practice what I preach and I walk my talk. I've done the same for myself. I'm a badass boss babe. I'm fearless. I'm willing to get out there and fail forward, figure things out through trial and error, and then bring that back to my clients so I can shortcut your success. But probably the thing I most love, my most favorite role, is being a dog mom. I'm a mom of 3 furry four-legged kids. And I've rescued a lot of dogs in my life, probably hundreds of dogs in my life. So here, this is what we all want, is to be more successful so we have more happiness and freedom in our life. That's what I'm giving you access to in this webinar. So here, we're just going to dive in. I'm going to keep going at a fast pace here. If you need time to take notes, go ahead and just pause the video, or you can always watch it again. Before we do anything else, we really have to focus on strategy 1, reduce overwhelm and stress. If you don't do that, you don't have the capacity to let anything else in. So what is overwhelm? It's just overcome with emotion about the result of the amount of something, like too much work, too much stress, too much emotion. You just can't handle it all. So how do you deal with overwhelm when there's just too much to do and not enough time to do it in? Do you have a coping strategy, or are you just doing the best you can? I developed a system and a process, and what I do is, one of my superpowers is I like to see gaps and problems that other people aren't addressing, and I like to experiment and find solutions for them until I find the best one and the one that works best, and then I develop a process around that. Many years ago, I just noticed, and I've still noticed that today, that a lot of women entrepreneurs especially are stressed out and overwhelmed, and it's trying to be everything to all people, and you just aren't getting everything done that you want, and you're very stressed out about it. So I developed an 8-step process I'm going to give to you as a gift for free. I'm going to lay it out in this webinar and then give you access to a video training I did on it with a workbook, so you have a tool for never being overwhelmed again. So here it is. I'm going to go very quickly through this because I'm going to, on the next page, give you a link. And actually below this video screen, there's a big purple button that says Reduce Overwhelm. If you click on that, it gives you access to a training that's a little under 20 minutes, and it walks you through this process a lot slower and more deliberately. There's a workbook you can download, and then you have a tool. It's a super simple process. You're going to start with the brain drain. You're going to drain your brain on a piece of paper. I'd actually recommend doing it on a Word doc or Google Doc, and you're just going to stream of consciousness without any rhyme or reason, any particular order. You're just going to get everything up and out, onto a page, onto a screen, until there's nothing left. And you just keep asking yourself, is there anything else? Is there anything else? Until it is all gone. You might even want to put that down, come back the next day or a couple days later and see if there's anything else you forgot. What's so awesome about this step, ladies, is that it is a tool for forgetting. You will feel relief immediately because you don't have to hold on to that stuff and have it ruminate in your brain anymore, because you've gotten it up and out. You're not going to forget it because it's all written down, so you can relax. It's going to relieve a lot of stress. A lot of these steps only take a second or two, or 5 seconds at the most. Step 2 is one of those. You're going to look at that brain drain list. You're going to categorize what are all the categories that everything in that list falls into. I recommend you don't create more than 6 to 8 categories. Then you're going to organize that list into those categories. Then you're going to start to schedule things. Now, what I want to caution you about with step 4 is you don't have to schedule everything on that brain drain list. What I would do is start with things that can be done, quick and easy things that can be done in less than an hour, because action is the remedy for overwhelm. So if you start to do the easy things that can be done quickly, you're off to the races and you start to feel better, and it reduces the overwhelm even more than brain drain. So you just schedule the things that are urgent, things with an expiration date, things that have to get done in a timely manner. And then there's a mindset component to overwhelm. There is definitely a correlation to perfectionism and procrastination that then lead to overwhelm. We talk about that in that video training that I'm going to be giving you, that you can push the button for under this video screen. Then we start to take action. We start with quick and easy. That's one of the categories you're going to set up in step 2, quick and easy. Those are things that can be done in less than an hour. And then you're going to track it. Tracking, it's important because then it registers that you're making progress and getting things done. So it starts to shift your mindset about your to-do list because you see that things are actually getting done. And then step 8 is also important. You need to celebrate so it registers on an emotional and unconscious level, and you're starting to shift that pattern. And you're actually in action. It's a boost to your self-esteem. You're starting to feel better, and you're getting things done. So here's all the information on that video training, but that button is just down below. It takes less than 20 minutes. What I'd recommend is you actually make a commitment to about an hour. Even though the video is only 20 minutes, what you're going to do is actually do the steps while you're watching the video. That way you're not watching a video and going, oh, that's nice, and then you never take action. If you pause the video at each step and actually do that step, you could have this entire process done in under an hour and be off to the races and feel great. You might procrastinate on this because you are overwhelmed and stressed out. I'm letting you know this is going to help relieve all of that. So it is time well spent. My gift for you. Okay, wait, there's more. I'm just getting started. Okay, strategy 2, once we've got overwhelm and stress out of the way, now we can make a huge paradigm shift. This is probably the most important strategy, ladies, to put radical self-care as the top priority for you in your life. Why? Well, why is it so crucial to your success and well-being and happiness? Well, think about that. I want you to think about the last time you took a flight somewhere to go on a trip, and you're sitting in the plane waiting for it to take off, and the flight attendants do their safety presentation, and they get to the part about the oxygen masks. And they say, when the oxygen masks drop, put your oxygen mask on first, and then assist small children accompanying you. The reason for that is if you're in a panic about your own survival, you're not good to anyone. You have to take care of yourself first, and then you give from a whole place rather than a hole that you're trying to fill up. Otherwise, you're being a martyr, you're being codependent, you're going to eventually resent people, you're going to feel like, what about me? So it's your responsibility to put radical self-care for you as your top priority, because then you can actually be more effective and serve others better and get more done. When you're taken care of, you have everything you need. Nothing's depleted. You have the energy, the rest. You feel good. You feel taken care of. And now you can conquer the world. All right. So what is radical self-care? Well, it's the assertion that you have the responsibility to take care of yourself first before attempting to take care of others. It's necessary to fill your cup up first and then give to others from the overflow. No one likes a martyr. All that does is make other people feel guilty, resentful, or even entitled, oddly enough. Radical self-care gives you the capacity to heal the overwhelm, the stress, the fatigue, the exhaustion, and catch up with yourself so you can thrive and then move forward to new chapters in your life and your business. You get to choose what's next. Where do you start? Well, I want you to focus on these 8 areas of radical self-care so you live a more balanced, happy, healthy, and successful life. I'm not saying focus on all 8 of these right away. Pick one area. Now, I'm going to go real quickly through them right now because we're going to spend a little time on them in a minute or two. Physical is your body, energy, diet, health, emotion, and then emotions is just how you're feeling about things in life. Are you always stressed out? Do you have a negative outlook on life, or do you feel good about things? Do you feel you're supported in life? Psychological is your mindset, your attitude, your perception. Is the glass half full or half empty? Spiritual is just that deeper meaning in life. Do you feel connected to a source? Maybe it's just nature, maybe it's God for you, universe, life force. Relationships, all of them, not just romantic. Do you have healthy, happy relationships, or is your life filled with a bunch of negative, mean, sabotaging, manipulative people that are just using you and draining you? Profession, your work. Do you love it, hate it? Are you working too much? Is it out of balance with your life? And then financial, are you saving? Are you investing? Or are you avoiding that whole thing and being complacent because you just don't want to go there? Finally, community. After you've taken care of these other 7 areas, now what kind of impact or legacy could you leave on the world? So what's at risk here, ladies, is you may think that you don't have time for radical self-care, especially if you're very busy and have a lot of responsibilities, and that it's optional and for other women who aren't as busy as you are. Well, I'm going to challenge that supposition and say, actually, if you have a lot of responsibility and you're a very busy woman, you can't afford not to make radical self-care your top priority. Otherwise, things can break down. There's only so much of you to go around. At some point, something's got to give. Consider if you continue the way you are, neglecting your needs and not taking care of yourself in these 8 essential areas, what's going to happen? If you can't keep up with it all, what's the cost or consequences to you, your family, your finances, your business if something happens to you? Also, think about the impact it'll have on those who count on you if you burn out, break down, get sick, get a irreversible disease, wear yourself down, all because you're just constantly stressing yourself out and subjecting yourself to just an unrealistic workload because you wouldn't take care of yourself first and make radical self-care a top priority in your life. Think about that. What's going to happen if you can't do what you do anymore? How's that going to change your life? How's it going to impact your finances, the quality of your life, your family? What's your current lifestyle like? Is that going to be sustainable if you can't do what you currently do? Most likely not. Most likely it's going to have a dramatically negative impact on you and your life if you don't change something. Can you really think about it? Take a moment. Think about, could you just keep going at the pace you're going indefinitely? What's also at risk is it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when something's going to break down, a health issue, a financial issue, a relationship, whatever. And if you don't change and make radical self-care a top priority in your life, what do you have to lose possibly? But change isn't easy. It requires a transformation of your mindset and habits, and that's very difficult to do alone. You have to have a lot of motivation to do that. The first step's awareness. That's what this whole webinar is all about. And then start with one change at a time. And this won't be the first time you hear me talk about this in this webinar. Start with one change that will make the biggest difference for you right now. Just one, and then another, and little by little, one change at a time can transform you and your life and your business in a relatively short period of time. It did for me. Okay, one step to radical self-care. What is one change in one of the 8 areas that you want to make in your life starting today? Physical change. Change your diet or start exercising. Exercise to me has a love-hate relationship, so I started using the terms move my body, and that just feels better. You might want to start at getting more sleep or rest. In fact, that's where I would recommend you start. There's a lot of research on how important sleep is and rest. Perhaps start with the rest piece if you can't see how you could get more sleep. Start with, do you pack your day and you're just zooming around from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and you just never have enough time to catch your breath? Maybe you start building in little hard stops of 10 to 15 minutes and you just sneak away to Starbucks. You sit in your car, you unplug from all devices for 10 or 15 minutes. It's not a lot of time, and you just enjoy that frappuccino while you're listening to your favorite music, and you just catch your breath for a minute. Those little mini breaks can have such a huge impact. And getting more sleep is good for your immune system. It's good for your metabolism. It's good for your overall well-being. Emotionally, how do you cope with stress when things break down? They don't go the way you want. Do you have healthy coping mechanisms? Do you have support? Psychologically, what's your mindset and attitude like? Are you more negative? Are you more positive? Do you have a can-do attitude? Or do you feel like a victim? What about spiritual? Do you feel all alone in the world, or do you need to tap into a source greater than yourself? Relationships, are you surrounded by the right kind of people? There's just really consistent research that supports you will only go as high in your life as the people around you. So look around and see the relationships you have. And if it concerns you, then good. Because as you succeed more, as you take better care of yourself, there are going to be some relationships you're going to need to let go of. You got to start making peace with that, because that's going to make more room for better, healthier, happier, more empowering relationships that fill those spots instead. Those people that believe in you, get you, love you, want to support you. Professionally, are you grinding away at a job that you hate? Is it sucking your soul out through your eyeballs? Or are you just working too much? What about finances? A lot of women are not empowered in finances or with money. Are you saving and investing? Even just $25 a month, something to get started that's just for you, that empowers you. Or are you just avoiding this whole thing altogether? And then finally, after you've maybe chosen one of these first 7 areas, when you have really gotten more balance back, then you look at community and the impact you could have on some of the communities in your life. So make one commitment to just one thing and schedule it. Make it a top priority. Consider the cost to you and your life and those who rely on you if you don't. So here's my story. I'm going to tattle on myself a little bit because everything I'm sharing in this webinar is from personal experience in business and in life. So I'm speaking from my own experience here. I was kind of a moderate workaholic. There's certainly more people that worked harder and more than I did, but I used the pandemic to get more done. I got certified in NLP and got a lot of other things done. I got laid off. I started up a business. I rescued my mom. I just did a whole bunch of stuff, and I didn't realize how much stress I was taking on. I was suffering from that Wonder Woman complex. I can handle it. I can do it. Let me do it. Here I am. I'm the heroine. And then my body broke down and I couldn't work. What happened is I got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. A lot of women have Hashimoto's. You might even have it and don't know it. But it also created severe inflammation. I was having a lot of intestinal issues. I was fatigued and a lot of aches and pains. I didn't feel good. And it got to the point where it just stopped me in my tracks. In fact, it was the worst case of inflammation my doctor had ever seen in 30 years. I needed to change and I needed a transformation fast. So immediately I changed my diet. It didn't even require discipline because I was highly motivated because I relate to myself as a healthy, strong, vibrant, vivacious woman. So I needed to get back in alignment with that identity. So immediately I changed my diet, my lifestyle, started moving my body more. We did a lot of lab work, started working closely with my doctor and a functional medicine doctor, melted 40 pounds off my body, and that's when the transformation began. It's still a process. Through trial and error, I'm learning to do less and achieve more. That was a game changer when my life transformed, when I started to put my well-being first and living a quality of life and not being so busy so I could actually enjoy life. It started with reducing stress. I didn't realize how much stress I had until other people in my life started pointing it out. And I was resistant at first because I was kind of proud of how much I could handle. Then when I started radical self-care as a routine and started incorporating doing what I needed to do to feel really taken care of, and it started with sleep and rest and not pushing myself so much, not grinding so much, taking breaks, pacing myself, catching my breath, and then doing all that, taking care of me first, and then I would dive into the day and take care of everyone else. As a business coach for over 22 years, my work is all about helping other people. I can't do that from a depleted place. I've got to give people the best I've got. So I've got to do that from a whole place, not from trying to fill a hole. So I take time off to do whatever I want to recharge my batteries without guilt or shame. It regenerates me. There's something about jammy days and Netflix binging that does something to soothe my soul and recharge my batteries. So I've learned not to feel guilty or ashamed about that when I need to just be a vegetable and lay around and really do nothing productive. It helps me in some way. So I no longer feel guilty about that because I come back better, a more improved version. I get a massage every month. I'm blessed. I live with someone who gives me massages every month, so I'm lucky. I take time to enjoy the simple pleasures in life, and that I realized many years ago the things that make me happy are actually really simple things, and that we complicate things and think we want more than we actually need to be happy. So it's things just like watching birds build a nest and then watching that whole cycle of life as they lay their eggs and incubate them and then the babies fledge from the nest. It's cuddling my dogs. My dogs bring me so much joy. It's just sitting on my back deck and looking over my beautiful backyard and listening to birds sing. Or it's reading a magazine. I always thought magazines were a waste of time, and now I read magazines. So I'm not striving or struggling to get somewhere or be someone or someday I will arrive. I'm there. I'm content, happy, and healthy, and I'm more successful with less effort and working less hours than I ever did grinding away in corporate America where I was a robot. I work less and it's easier. So many people don't realize that. I think a lot of people are afraid to be their own boss, especially women, because you doubt your ability to be disciplined enough to do what you've got to do. Well, that's what I'm here for, is to help you with that, to help you put in the structure, the schedule, help you focus on the right things to succeed by doing less and achieving more. So why is this important, ladies? If you don't change something by choice now, it's going to be thrust upon you later. Why wait until something breaks down when right now it's not too late for you to enjoy being happy, healthy, and wealthy now? It doesn't have to be that thing you keep reaching for in the future. You're using up your life reaching for something that is always out of reach. You're always going to want more. There's always more to do. So if not now, then when? Do you want to get plopped into your grave and have regrets of all the life you didn't live? Most people do not have regrets about what they did. They regret all the things they didn't do, all the life and living they didn't do. Don't let that be you. You have a choice right now to embrace radical self-care and make it the top priority in your life so that everything else works better and you get the results you want and you desire right now with less effort and stress. Think about what it would be like to reduce overwhelm and stress and actually have time to enjoy life, like taking those little Starbucks Frappuccino breaks and listening to some jazz or whatever music you like and not feeling 1 ounce of guilt about it. Everybody else can wait while you take a time out. Just one thing. What's one thing you can change? One thing that you can do for yourself that you feel is like radical self-care for you. It feels like luxury for you. It feels like you're getting away with something. What's that one thing? What's that one thing you always want that you never seem to be able to get to for really pampering yourself? One thing that'll have the biggest impact on the quality of your life right now. Not that one thing that you'll do in the future, right now. What's the one thing? Is it just more sleep? Is it taking a day off? What is it that's going to have an impact on you emotionally, psychologically, physically? Consider some of these possibilities. I've already told you about how important sleep is, and I'm speaking from experience when I went through menopause, and even now sometimes sleep was just a challenge for me. I wasn't getting enough, and it impacts so many things in your health. How about a change in your diet to get more energy and a pep in your step? I changed my diet and it was transformational for me. Gave me more energy, aches and pains went away. What about exercise to boost your strength and energy? Exercise is kind of a funny thing. You may not feel like it or like you have the energy for it, but actually by exerting energy, it gives you more energy. If exercise is something that you avoid or you kind of hate or you feel like it's work, then change it in your mindset like I did and say, how can I move my body today in a way that'll feel good for me? Think about that. Exercise, workout versus how can I move my body in a way that feels good to me today? See, it's a mindset thing. What about evaluating some of your commitments and retiring from some of them? Letting go of things you're doing out of obligation? What about just, delegating those to other people or letting other people do things for themselves? Are you doing things for other people that they should really be doing for yourself? All you moms out there, Are you enabling your children? Is it time for them to pack their own lunches? Or is it time for them to do some of the chores around the house? What are some of the things you could be delegating to family members to start with and employees? Do you need to say no to others more and less to and yes to yourself? This is such a big one for us women. I'm going to be talking about it more than once in this webinar. It's all about setting better boundaries. And if you feel guilty or you feel, oh my God, I'm going to disappoint someone, you may, but it'll start to shift the way people treat you. They'll treat you with more respect. They won't use you. And a little temporary discomfort is worth long-term thriving versus just getting by and surviving and being overwhelmed and stressed. Okay, perhaps you need to also evaluate relationships in general and get rid of all those toxic relationships. What are toxic relationships? Relationships where you don't feel good around that person. They're criticizing you all the time. They dump you on you. They use you. It's one way. It's always about them. It's never about you. You're not supported. They're negative. They're maybe manipulative. They use you. Those are all toxic relationships. I'm giving you permission to let them go now. I did that many years ago, and I keep maintenance on it. And sometimes you don't know right away if you have a toxic relationship. It takes a little while for you to realize. So it's just about letting go and trusting that there's going to be a void there that gets filled with better quality people that are more resonating with who you are today. What's it going to cost you if you don't change? If you don't start to radical self-care as a committed way of life, what's it going to cost you in these areas, in your health, in your emotional well-being, being happy versus stressed out and overwhelmed all the time? What about psychologically, your overall attitude and perception of life? Spiritually, do you feel depleted, like an empty shell, hollow inside? What about relationships? We've talked about that a little bit already. Think about what it would be like to actually just be surrounded by people who are happy and healthy and loving and supportive. They believe in you. They love you. They support you. They cheer you on. What about your business or your work? Think about doing work that you love and only doing as much of it as you want to. I take Fridays off. I take Fridays and the weekends off. I only work 4 days a week, and I make a 6-figure income in my business. What about financial? Reaching your financial goals. A lot of women are not empowered with money. Just saving, just starting with saving just a little bit of money every month and tucking it away can give you a sense of security. And then eventually, it's all about serving others. What kind of impact do you want to have on the world, or legacy do you want to leave? Okay, what's the benefit? If you change that one thing, how will it benefit you, your loved ones? What kind of impact is it going to have on your attitude, your energy, your overall outlook and approach to life? What impact is it going to have on your relationships, your health, your finances? Think about that, the impact. Right now, the way you're going, it's costing you something. There are consequences to you operating full tilt throttle in your business and packing your days and doing things out of obligation or codependency, being a martyr. That is costing you something. Be willing to look at that, because that's where the transformation is. All right, so strategy 3, these strategies are building on each other. We have to get rid of overwhelm and stress so you have the capacity to let anything else in. Then that paradigm shift into making radical self-care your top priority is the foundation we're building everything else on. So strategy 3 really supports and comes after strategy 2, taking control back of your life by setting better boundaries and getting a balance back. What do I mean by balance? A work-life balance, but also, more importantly, a balance of what makes it to your to-do list is things that are important to you. You're not doing things out of obligation and people-pleasing anymore. So let's get into it. First off, the old way. Perhaps you can relate to some of this. You suffer from the Wonder Woman complex. We've talked about that. You do too much for others and not enough for yourself. You're a people pleaser. You have a hard time saying no to people. You're afraid of disappointing people. You're overworked and underappreciated. Perhaps people are taking credit for your work. You're being taken advantage of or taken for granted. That sucks. That's all of this. All of this, been there, done that. You feel obligated to help others even when they haven't asked. You're being a martyr, a people pleaser, a rescuer. You like to fix. That's actually very disrespectful to other people. It's putting you on a higher plane than them and saying that you know better, you can help them, you're stronger, you're better, more capable. Stop doing that. You lack healthy boundaries, and you give even when it costs you something, and you really aren't looking at what is it costing you in time, in energy. What is it taking away from you when you keep rescuing everybody else? You've gotten used to being tired, exhausted, worn out, stressed out, overwhelmed. You don't realize what that's doing to your insides, to your health. All that cortisol, just what stress does to the body, the inflammation, and eventually what that's going to do and wear your body down to the point where it breaks down with some kind of illness. So what's at stake here? Everything: your sanity, your health, your quality of life, your relationships, your success, your financial freedom and security, your happiness. It's all at stake here. This is a warning. This webinar is a warning to pause for a moment, to put the pause button on in your life and be willing to take a long, honest look at, are you happy and are things really working? Are you getting the results you want? So the new way, you learn the power of saying no, and that's a hard one at first because people aren't going to like it. You are going to get pushback. You've got to have a backbone around it and allow for that and plan for it, that there are going to be people who challenge you and don't like it. That's okay. Those are relationships you might want to consider letting go of. I know that may be hard if they're family members, a spouse, children, but it's time to set better boundaries. Would you rather be used and be afraid of losing these relationships who are energy vampires? Or would you be willing to clean house and have only people in your life who love and support you and encourage you and empower you and help you and give to you? You learn to set healthy boundaries with others and develop the courage to stand your ground and stand for your convictions. I would much rather be respected than liked. So you make choices and decisions based on your values and priorities. That's what determines what gets onto your to-do list, not other people's demands, distractions, detours. You don't let other people hijack you and your day and your energy and your time and detour you away from what's important to you. This is your life. You're the one living it. You'll feel more confident and powerful with this process. You're going to learn to let go of unhealthy relationships and realize that you're actually not losing anything. You're gaining more time, energy, and freedom and self-esteem. You start asking for help. You get more comfortable receiving. That's huge. That was huge for me. And you actually let people in. You let people support you. In order to make those changes you want to make in your life and your business. You stop struggling and striving and trying to be Wonder Woman, doing it all by yourself. Why is this important? Do you want to be happy? Do you put happiness off in the future? Someday, when I just get this one more thing done. Can you sustain the current pace you're going at? Do you really want to be busy versus successful? What's it costing you in your relationships, health, and happiness? What's the point of working so hard and being stressed out if you never take time to enjoy it? What's it going to cost you in the future if you don't change? Think about, if nothing changes, what your life would be like in 1 year. Think about that. Think about just continuing as you are. Now, try to consider that 3 years you go along, nothing changes. Now, perhaps there's some health issues that you haven't been tending to. Think about 5 years out. Can you even go there? Can you even fathom what 10 years would be like if nothing changes and you keep going the way you're going, doing what you're doing the way you're doing it? Quick recap here. What we've covered so far is we've started with reduce overwhelm and stress. That frees you up to focus on what's important to you and let us pour into you. When you're overwhelmed and stressed, you're full. You can't let anything in. So we started there, and then we focused on shifting your paradigm to put you first and making radical self-care your top priority. So it actually puts you in a better position to serve others because you're coming from a whole place. You're not trying to fill a hole, and you're not giving what you don't have or want to give. Reevaluating your boundaries, values, and priorities is now your new compass for what makes it to your to-do list. And now that you're taken care of, it's time to approach your work from a completely different paradigm as well. That's what the next two strategies are all about. So we're going to shift gears from the personal and look at business. Strategy 4, implement the power of small action plan. What is the power of small? Well, most people want dramatic changes overnight. They're not willing to work for them. They don't have the discipline. They're too impatient. They want instant gratification. The power of small is a simple concept that yields huge rewards over time because it has a cumulative effect. This is how it works. You focus on taking one simple action and then another. And you focus on that one action until it becomes automatic or it's a habit or you've mastered it. And then you take on something else. A little bit goes a long way over time. For example, exercising 15 to 30 minutes a day. Not being a gym rat that's spending hours in the gym. You could do a high intensity interval training in 15 to 20 minutes and get more benefit from that than being in the gym for 2 or 3 hours every day. Just a few minutes every day could transform your life. So let's keep it super simple, okay? As human beings, we like to complicate things. It makes us feel more important. That's an ego thing. We feel more important if we're busy, rushing around. Look at me, I'm so busy. Like it impresses people. Wow, you must be important, you're so busy. It actually alienates people and you miss out on so much being busy. I know that sounds strange, but when you're busy, you're missing out on living life. Keep things super simple, relieves a lot of stress and gets things done in a more efficient and effective way. How? How could that affect the 8 essential areas of your life? Think about your business, for example. What if you were to actually delegate and automate using technology and other people's time to elevate? Think about how much faster you could grow and how much more money you could make if you didn't have to do it all yourself. A lot of busy women entrepreneurs are trapped in that Wonder Woman complex of something to prove. Look at me, I can do it all. I'm the perfect woman. But at what cost? So what? Think about that. What are you missing out on? What would be possible if you actually leveraged technology and other people's time and talent to do the work for you? That's what being an entrepreneur is all about, is to have freedom. You're not the one doing it all. Are you willing to let go of control to have more freedom? Old way. You have the hope marketing system. You hope for qualified prospects to find you. You don't have consistent marketing routine that you do daily. You don't know what to do even, or what works to attract your soulmate clients. You're lost about how to use social media to market your business. You don't really have a marketing budget, and because you don't think you can do marketing. You think organic means something you eat without pesticides sprayed all over it, but you don't realize that organic marketing strategies are very effective. That's the only way I've grown my businesses is through organic marketing strategies to generate leads. It means it's free, but you invest your time and you learn how to do it yourself. You don't have a funnel set up. You don't even understand how important a funnel is in your business. You don't have a sales process. You're afraid of selling. You're uncomfortable asking people to pay you. You don't have consistent habits and routines that are centered around revenue generating activities. What are those? Networking, marketing, and selling. Struggling and striving. I used to struggle and strive my way through life. Oh my God, wishing for more hours and just wondering why I was working so hard and not getting the results I wanted and deserved. Oh, that just sucks. You don't have the process or system for getting more done with less effort and time. You think you have to do it all because no one else can do it better than you or as good as you. You need to control everything because you don't trust anyone. That was a big one for me. All of these things. I'm speaking from experience. I've been guilty of all of this. You don't think you can afford to invest in building your business infrastructure and leverage technology to make things flow faster and easier. You aren't spending money on your business because you aren't making any. You don't feel like you can. And that is backwards thinking. You are going to struggle and strive for a long time doing that. You have to invest in your business. And technology will get you there faster. It doesn't have to be all at once. It can be one thing at a time. What's the one technology that you really want? Maybe it's a website. Maybe it's a CRM, a contact relationship management. Maybe it's, a caller, an automatic caller. So if you're having to make a lot of calls, that it makes that easier. Whatever it is, just one thing. You don't think you can afford to hire people to help you, virtual assistants, to do the menial and monotonous tasks in your business. That's gobbling up so much time and energy for you. And do you know you can hire a VA from the Philippines for $5 an hour? What would that be worth to give them 10 or 15 hours of all that stuff to do for you? What could you do with another 10 or 15 hours in your week? You are a solopreneur slave who's trapped in the vicious cycle of trying to do it all yourself. You're spending $1 of your time to save a dime. You don't realize how valuable your time is. The new way. You develop processes and systems that leverage technology and other people's time and talent. You establish habits and routines that are focused around revenue-generating activities that attract qualified leads and make sales in your business. You learn to lead and let go of control to gain more freedom. You invest in the support and systems you need to thrive and succeed faster and easier. Why are you depriving yourself of that? You define who your soulmate client is. We excavate and showcase your superpowers proudly and with confidence. A lot of women are really shy. You feel like you're bragging or being arrogant. You have to know what your superpowers are and be proud and confident about what you have to offer, not hiding that, but showcasing it to attract people like a lighthouse or a beacon of hope. You create your message and you learn how to write the right kinds of copy and content to attract your soulmate client in your marketing. You learn how to sell with confidence and competence from the heart in a way that empowers both you and your clients. It doesn't even feel like selling. People come ready to buy. You get comfortable being more visible. This is huge for women. It was for me. You develop a marketing and sales system that gets results. And you automate your marketing to attract leads with or without you while you're sleeping. That is a beautiful thing. When leads start coming in that you didn't have to chase after. It's so empowering when you get to that point. The Permission to Thrive process that I'm talking about here is this program isn't about getting one result. There's a lot of women coaches running Facebook groups out there that I've studied for a couple of years now, and they've started their group to sell their program. It's a one-trick pony, and that's everything they do is to sell that program in their group. And to make matters even worse, then there's all these rules about not pitching or promoting. You go into all these women entrepreneur groups and they don't let you talk about your business. What kind of support is that? This isn't about you getting one result like growing a Facebook group or learning organic marketing strategies or how to sell. This is a comprehensive transformation that impacts all aspects of your life and business to level up so you thrive. It's about helping you achieve your goals and dreams with less effort and more joy by making radical self-care a top priority and then focusing on your work from a whole new empowered paradigm and mindset. It's about leveraging technology and other people's time and talent so you can do less and achieve more and evolve into the badass boss babe that you're destined to become. It's about trusting. It's about having faith. It's about letting other people support you, letting other people in, becoming a leader, training them, supervising them, having the patience to invest in that and know that that is time well spent that's going to give you more time later. This program's about supporting your success in a safe space to give you permission to experiment and explore, give up the perfectionism, and actually figure out what is it that you do want. If you were, strip away all the distractions, all the busyness, what's actually important to you? I found for me when I did this years ago that it was simple. Happiness was simple for me. And it's the best way for you to create a life that empowers you. So here's the steps to the Permission to Thrive process. And I'm just going to go through them quickly, but this is how much is packed into this program, my Permission to Thrive program. Here's everything we're going to cover. We're going to start here with reducing overwhelm, and then we're going to commit to radical self-care, and then we're going to start to work on better boundaries and values. That's the first month of 6 months program, okay? And then we're going to focus on really finding out what is your niche, who is your soulmate client, what are your superpowers, who are the best people you're qualified to serve. We're going to spend some time on that. Then we're going to really work on your messaging, your copy, and your content so you can attract those perfect dream soulmate clients. And then we're going to work on you getting more comfortable being visible with your marketing, putting yourself out there. That's month 2, all of that. Then month 3 is about really working on organic marketing strategies, practicing it to master it. This is a take action program. So you're going to be engaged in taking actions, having experiences, exercise, activities, interactions that actually help you incorporate and implement all of this as we go. It's not a feel-good program to just, oh, that was a nice experience I went through, but it doesn't make any difference. This is about transforming your life and business, ladies. Then we're going to work on sales skills, learning to sell in a way that feels good to you, feels comfortable, that you can feel confident about, and then nurture and upsell. How to keep creating in your business based on what your clients want and are asking for. I have changed entire programs of mine that I had created based on what my soulmate clients wanted, needed, and were asked for. All of this gets you to that happily ever after, happy life, successful business, and more time and financial freedom. So doing less and achieving more. It starts with you taking care of yourself first. We build on that foundation. Then we start with small changes that become habits and routines that add more as you master each stage. We create a customized plan that works for you to implement all the stages of success for you personally and professionally. This is not a cookie cutter program. It's very customized and personal. You learn to let go of control and have more freedom by leveraging technology and other people's time and talent to get it all done for you while you do less and achieve more. You learn to operate in your zone of brilliance and only operate in your zone of brilliance. And then you delegate everything else. All those things that weigh you down, slow you down, that you hate doing, you let technology and other people do that for you. All right, what else? This is a powerful process of transformation that takes time. We provide a safe space to be vulnerable and authentic. We meet weekly in intimate Thrive circles of 8 to 10 women. So it's very intimate and small. This isn't about serving hundreds and thousands of women all at once. It's very intimate, very personalized. And this is all about women who are committed to thriving versus surviving and just getting by. You want it all. You want to be happy. You want to have peace. You want to enjoy your life. We focus on one step at a time with exercises, activities, interactions, and just to increase your awareness and motivate you to take action. It's an interactive and experiential process. You participate and take one small action each and every week to make steady progress. There are daily and weekly exercises and rituals to encourage you in making radical self-care a top priority in your life, like taking yourself on a date each week. We support each other in our journeys. Everything's confidential and stays in the Thrive Circle. There isn't gossip. We are good witches. We empower and lift each other up. We don't compete. We're not competing with each other. We're supporting each other We make it very safe for you to do that. Why is this important? None of it matters if you don't take action and choose to do something differently. This is just going to be a great video that was very entertaining for you unless you commit to taking some action and making some drastic changes in your life. Otherwise, nothing's going to change until something is forced upon you, like an unwelcome event, like I had, a health scare, or losing a cherished relationship, or getting laid off, or some kind of financial upset. What do you want to change? What's that change you're willing to make that would have the biggest impact on your business and your life? Do you need to make more than one change to make things work better? Maybe you need to make radical self-care in one area, like getting more sleep or taking breaks throughout the day, a personal change. But in your business, you say, okay, I could hire a VA to do menial, monotonous little admin tasks. Yes, that's worth $50 a week for me. Most programs focus on just one change, like growing a Facebook group and selling through DMs. Those things become outdated very quickly because we evolve. And as soon as that's saturated and everybody's doing it, then it's no longer an effective strategy. The Permission to Thrive program gives you access to have it all, and it's evergreen. These are things that don't change over time. They're things you're always going to need, things that always work. The happy life and successful business. We focus on all of it. Where do you want to start? But wait, we're not done yet. There's one more strategy. Strategy 5, get the support you need to get the results you want. This is just as important as the radical self-care step. In fact, strategy 2 and 5 are probably the most important. No one succeeds alone. We all need help and support. You learn, like me, you can learn through trial and error. Eventually, you're going to succeed. But how long is that going to take? It took me years and years and years. I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've been a strategic business coach for 22 years. And I just watch people struggle trying to reinvent the wheel, thinking you're saving time and money. You aren't. Do you have a resilient spirit? Are you determined enough to deal with the fear, frustration, and failure that's part of the long journey of success as an entrepreneur? Do you persevere or give up at the slightest setback and get discouraged? Or do you bounce back quickly and make a commitment to yourself that you'll never give up until you succeed? Are you determined enough? All successful people hire coaches or mentors to help them get there faster and easier. That's why they're successful. That's why they're the best. The elite athletes, very successful business people, entertainers, they all hire experts and coaches and mentors to help them get there faster and master the craft faster and better so that they can dominate and be at the top of their game. So, do you want success to be easier and faster and more fun? Would you like to trade in stress and overwhelm for success, freedom, and happiness? Would you like to enjoy life more? Do you deprive yourself of getting the support you need because you don't think you deserve to invest in your business or yourself? Think about your husband, your partner, your kids, your friends, people in your life. Do they get what they want? Do you make sure they do? What about you? When is it your turn? Are you afraid you'll spend money on a program or a coach and then not get the results? I've had that happen. Last year was all about that. Just so frustrating. So what that did for me is I said, I will never be that person to someone. I am always about pouring value in so people get results. I understand that fear. When you hire an experienced coach, here's the thing I really want you to get. When you hire someone to show you the way, it empowers you and gives you certainty about the path you're on because it's been proven. And you're being guided by an experienced Sherpa who has walked that path many times and is now showing you the shortcuts, the best route to get the results you desire in the fastest way possible. They're making it easier. You have certainty about something that's been proven and works, and you have someone by your side guiding you, encouraging you, cheering you on every step of the way. You aren't alone. As entrepreneurs, we often feel all alone when we're actually not. Why is this important? How much time do you have to achieve what you have to achieve in your business? Do you have years, months, or merely weeks to prove it to you and your family? Time is your most precious commodity. Please get that, just how valuable your time is, and then step back and be willing to look at your life and look at where you are squandering time or where people are stealing it from you. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. Once it's gone, it's gone. You've got to stop living your days like they're forever. There is an expiration date. There is a time when you're going to be done, die, fall into the grave, and that's it. Don't keep reaching for something in the future. Have it be here right now. Grab it now. Enjoy life now. How much energy or money do you have to make it happen? When you hire an expert to show you the way, you save money and time, and you get there faster, and it's easier and more fun. 7 mistakes to avoid here, ladies. Letting overwhelm prevent you from taking action or receive the transformation you seek and serve. Chasing shiny objects for a quick fix that doesn't really address everything you need and want. Being complacent and continuing as you are, not changing because it's uncomfortable. Or 4, procrastinating and waiting for things to miraculously improve. They're not going to. You've got to choose, change, and take action. 5, not getting the guidance and support you need to make the journey and thinking you're saving time and money trying to do it all yourself. It's actually costing you time and money trying to do everything yourself. 6, not feeling worthy of investing in yourself. That's a big one for women. And 7, letting fear rob you of your happily ever after by not taking action. Today, I promised you, ladies, to give you hope that there's more to life than a never-ending to-do list. I also promised you to reduce overwhelm and stress and show you how to do less and achieve more. And to give you permission to thrive by reversing the paradigm and putting yourself first so you and everyone else are happier, healthier, and more successful. And show you a proven process for how to earn 6 to 7 figures by developing habits and routines centered on revenue generating activities. I feel I delivered on my promises. How about you? What you need to thrive is these 5 strategies to do less and achieve more. First, you reduce overwhelm and stress in your life. Then there's a huge paradigm shift to making radical self-care your top priority. Then taking control back with boundaries and balance. Implementing the power of small action plan, focusing on one action or change at a time until you master it, and then moving on and adding another and another. And over time, that has a cumulative, transformative impact on your life. And then 5, getting help when you need it to get there faster and easier, hiring experts who help you, who empower you, so you're not all alone trying to do this, struggling and striving all by yourself. So now you have a choice. You can leave things the way they are, and this was just an entertaining webinar for you. And like, oh, that was nice, Rayana. Or you can make an investment in yourself, and you can say, you know what? I don't want to wait. I don't want to keep putting things into the future. I don't want to keep making sure everybody else is taken care of at my own detriment. I want to make a change, and I want it to be comprehensive across all areas of my life. How I can help with that is my team and I have set aside some time over the next 48 hours to personally speak with you about how you can apply these ideas to your life and business. So you can start implementing some of these things today. You don't have to wait. You can start to implement some of these things I've shared today to be happier, healthier, and wealthier by doing less and achieving more. So here's how it works. In that session, we'll work with you to help you figure out what you need. We'll draft up a step-by-step plan that's going to address these 5 strategies: reducing overwhelm, making radical self-care a top priority, how to set better boundaries with people, and then start taking one thing at a time. And little by little, you get there. You're at that 6 figures, those 10K, 20K, 30, 80K months. You're making 6 and 7 figure incomes, and you're enjoying life more because you're not stressed out trying to do it all. You're letting people support you. This connection call is absolutely free, no catch, absolutely free. So Who is this for? That connection call is free if you meet these criteria. Otherwise, it's wasting your time and my time if you aren't serious about wanting to take action to make these changes in your life. So you're fed up with things the way they are and you want to change, and you can taste it. You really want a change. You are highly motivated to make significant changes in your life in order to be happier, healthier, and more successful. You're willing to take action and do whatever it takes when you find the right person and solution that you resonate with. Hopefully that's me, and if it's not, that's okay. And you're ready to get the support and guidance you need. So, why am I doing this? I believe the world needs more women leaders to bring a balance back between the feminine and the masculine by collaborating, connecting, cooperating, co-creating. We need more feminine energy back to balance out the imbalance of authoritative dominance and competition and killing and dominating in the world. I know the pain and heartache of being taken for granted and taken advantage of and used and being used up and burnt out. And I want to make it easier for you to achieve your goals and live a happier, healthier life. That is one of my superpowers. I learned through trial and error and experience, and I bring it back to the tribe and share those resources so everyone else can benefit. And I wish someone else had shared all this with me decades ago. It would have made my life a lot easier. So what's next? Schedule a connection call with me. They're free, and we can talk about some of these things. You can get the help and support you need. I really, really want to, help you move on, be happier, healthier, less stressed. There's a button down below this video screen, below the Reduce Overwhelm. The Reduce Overwhelm button is that free course that I offered at the beginning of the webinar. And then below that is a button for you to push to schedule a connection call with me. I look forward to connecting with you, and I want to thank you for joining me. Please give yourself permission to thrive today. Don't wait until tomorrow or next week or next month or next year. They aren't going to come. Give yourself permission to thrive today. Maybe today is that day that you take a 10 or 15 minutes frappuccino break and you turn off all devices and you just listen to your favorite music and you just catch your breath. Go ahead. I dare you. Giving you permission to thrive. Okay, ladies, take care.